on in, everybody, and have a seat. And if it feels comfortable for you, let's all close our eyes in a moment of prayer, and we'll take a deep, conscious breath. And I was on my treadmill yesterday listening to the radio, and Joni Mitchell's Woodstock came on. And some of the words resonated with me a little differently now that I'm on my unity journey. She wrote, I came upon a child of God. He was walking along the road. I asked him, where are you going? And this he told me, I'm going to try and get my soul free. We are stardust. We are golden. And we've got to get ourselves back to the garden. Then can I walk beside you? I have come here to lose the smog. And I feel to be a cog in something turning. Maybe it's just the time of year, or maybe it's the time of man. I don't know who I am, but you know, life is for learning. We are stardust, we are golden, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden.
Amen.
We are grateful to gather here at Unity today to be in community with each other. As we think about these words, we remember that we are all children of God. We are all images of the divine, and we are on this journey together of knowing the divine truth of who we are. We are each a magnificent cog in something magnificently turning. We are Christ consciousness expressing through this physical world. And as we recognize the divine truth of who we are, and remind each other of the divine truth within each one of us, we lose the smog and we free our souls. We know, and more importantly, we feel ourselves as that golden light that we are, and we become that garden of peace. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. And now let's all say together the Lord's Prayer up here. It's translated from the Aramaic. Father, Mother, Birther, and Breath of all, create a space inside of us and fill it with your presence. Let oneness now prevail. Your one desire then flows through ours as energy fills all form. Give us this day our physical and spiritual nourishment and untangle the knots of error that bind us as we release others. Do not let appearances make us forgetful of the source, but free us to act appropriately. From age to age, through you, flow the glorious harmonies of life. May these words be fertile statements through which our future grows. Amen, amen, and amen. And if we can take a moment and turn our cell phones off, I forgot to mention that a little earlier. It interferes with our sound system. And if you absolutely need to have it on, please put it on vibrate. And I'd like to take a moment to introduce everybody today. It takes a lot of people to put our service together. I am Kate Richter, your platform assistant today. Hi. And we have a myriad of people today. We've got our children's message, our adult message, and our meditation by our lovely Susan Boles, our licensed Unity teacher. Our music, you can see we've got a great group of people up here. David's our music director. We've got our singers Marlene, Ann, Paula, and Patty. And we've got some musicians, Sue and Bobby, and Reno is joining us today. Adam and Tom and Dan. And we've got Kevin on sound system today. Thank you. And Danielle on video. And Tom and Dee are our ushers. And Allison is our youth assistant today with Bo Bryan, I believe, is our youth teacher. And so you guys are going to have fun down there. And we've got our beautiful PowerPoint every week. A lot of work goes into that, and that's created and operated by Javier. And let's see here. I'm going to call the ushers forward. We're going to do our duo can. This is our do unto others. It's not our regular offering. It is for loose change, and this supports our folks in our community that are in need. And we're going to have our second song. what Miss Susan has to say. Good morning. I am so glad to see you all. Wonderful. Wow, I didn't even know you were here. Thank you so much for being here. That's a good idea. You all sit up there, and I think I will just stand here. Now, did you all listen to the words of that song? I'm good enough. Do you all know that you are good enough? Yes. And do you all know that you have a lot to do with creating peace on earth? Come on, nod your heads. Yes? Yes, you do. For the children's message today, I chose a song by Reba McEntire. Have you all heard of her? She's a country singer. And she was inspired to write a song. This song just kept coming into her head. Does that happen to you sometimes? A thought just gets in your head and it just keeps flowing through. And the words that she heard were, pray for peace. Pray for peace. And when we play this song, Javier's going to play it in a minute, I invite you all, there are lots of children that are in the song. And they do something very special. They say, pray for peace. You know, all you 60s people know the peace sign, right? Okay. All right. So I'm going to invite Javier to start the video, the Reba McEntire video. And I invite all of you all to join me. We'll turn around and look at it. And they may not get the idea, so they can watch us go pray for peace every time we hear that. Okay? All right.
Pray Okay, I'm inviting these 5 wonderful boys here to please stand up now. And I want you all to know, yeah, stay up there so everybody can see you better. There are places in the world now where a lot of the children are going through some pretty tough times. And we are so glad that you are here with us. And we all have to know, and especially the children, that you and I make the difference. So, would you 5 boys join me again and say, pray, put your hands at your heart, pray for peace. And now, we would like to give you all a blessing while you all give us a blessing. So if you'll hold your hands up in this kind of blessing, we would like to bless you as you bless us. Together, we love you,
we bless you, we appreciate you, we behold the Christ in you, and we love you exactly the way you are.
Thank you for being here. And you all may have a wonderful time with Allison and Bo.
Thank you, Susan. And boy, 3 very powerful words, huh? We have a few announcements. Miss Pam, do you want to come up and say anything about the golf tournament?
Good morning. Here we are again talking about our 2014 3rd Annual Unity Golf Classic Golf Tournament. The date is coming up fast. We've got quite a committee created with all kinds of volunteers that are helping us now and have been doing so in the past couple of weeks, soliciting donations from people that we all do business with, from our neighbors, from our friends. One, yes, inviting them to play in the golf tournament, which is at the Moreland at the Legends Golf Resort in Myrtle Beach. It's a beautiful facility. We're also having a party afterwards, so it's not just a golf tournament. I know everyone here does not play golf, but I know everyone enjoys a good time, and everyone enjoys the fabulous music from our Unity Band. They have graciously agreed to play for us again this year. If you want to help us out in this effort, and you have not signed up on the volunteer list, please see me afterwards and I'll get your name and information, and we'll take you up on any and all ways that you want to help us in this effort. Anything else we want to say? That we need, oh yeah, we need sponsors to sponsor golf holes, to sponsor golf carts, and when talking to people, if they're not in a position to do that, but they would still like to make a donation of some kind, there's a place on this yellow form where they can do so. Can't play but want to contribute? Make a donation. And then there's a place to do that. And then we leave a copy of this with them for their tax receipt, since this is tax deductible. Thank you.
I just hit the clock here. Sorry. Okay, so the golf tournament is one of our biggest fundraisers, so we all hope that everybody participates in some way. So, it's a silent auction, and so part of the golf tournament includes a silent auction. If you are a service provider of some kind, or you have a favorite restaurant, or a hairdresser, or anything like that, we would love to have a gift certificate to provide, or a piece of art, or a trip, or anything like that to be part of that. And Dee Jones, if you want to stand for a second, Dee. Dee is the mother of the silent auction part of the tournament. Okay. Sassy Soul Revival. Does Miss Charlene want to say anything about that? Charlene says she set it up. Y'all know we're having a wild weekend of Sassy Soul Revival. Renew your body, mind, and spirit. We've got Georgia Kyle Shiver and Reverend Dale Worley. If you've not had the experience of hearing them, you want to be here for that. And today, 1:30 to 4, our lovely Susan Boles will be giving her light shop. And so open the gift. You are the gift, and she wants to help you open up further. And so that's on a love offering basis today after potluck. And we have our family feast potluck. Come on downstairs, enjoy the food and fellowship. And as you see here, we've got some backpacks down here. Hope House is our main outreach, one of our main outreaches. Supports the homeless, designated homeless high school kids at Myrtle Beach High School. that they were brought to our attention a few years ago. So there's a needs list that's on the table in the lobby downstairs. Please pick up that list. We would love to help give another 30, 40 backpacks to them again this year. And our next board meeting, Tuesday, August 19th, it's a potluck. Everybody is welcome. If you have a creative idea, a proposal for the board that you want considered at that meeting, please see myself. You can email it to Charlene, info@unitymyrtlebeach.org. You can see one of us, the board members and alternates. If everybody who's a board member or alternate that's here, could you please stand? Anybody? Dee, Javier, and myself are on the board, so if you have an idea that you'd like to share, you can also see one of us too. And, okay. And I'd like to share, this is the time that we share a little bit about unity, and this is our great little book, How to Speak Unity. It's down in the bookstore, and I always just flip in the morning. And love came up. All you need is love. Who said that?
John Lennon.
All right, and Paul McCartney. Love is the common thread among all living things. I think we all agree on that, right? The energy of love is the great healer. Matthew 19:19 instructs us to love thy neighbor as thyself. Many people are taught and believe it is wrong to love themselves and selfish to have their own best interest in mind. However, if we do not love ourselves, how can we truly care for someone else? That's a good point. Have you ever met people who despised themselves, did not take care of themselves, and yet loved everybody else? Probably not. In unity, we do not believe it is possible to think we can love other people unconditionally and want the best for them unless we are practicing the same action of love within ourselves. We see ourselves and others not only from our eyes, but from our hearts. When our hearts are filled with love, love is what our eyes will see. Amen. And now we will read our unity statement of purpose together up on the screen. Together, I am the consciousness of Unity Christ Church, a unified board and congregation, nurturing spiritual growth, inspiring creativity, sharing time, talents, treasures, and expanding awareness of divine oneness. And now we have a beautiful song called I Am a Gift.
I am a gift that
a nice reminder that we are all gifts. And now is the time we like to welcome everybody. We hope that when you came in this morning, you felt the welcoming spirit that we have here. And we would like to invite any visitors for the first time or those who have not been here in a while. If you would like to stand and give us your name and where you're from, we would love to give you an informational packet. Hi, sir. How are you today?
My name's Alex White. I'm from Myrtle Beach.
Welcome.
Myrtle Beach.
Very welcome.
Anybody else today would like to share where you're from and your name? Well, we hope you all felt welcomed, and if you did not feel comfortable enough to stand, if you would like some information later, please feel free to see one of the ushers.
Kate,
Yeah.
over here.
Where?
A couple in the back that stood up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see
Those
you.
are the guys that have little kids.
Oh, you have lots of kids.
Beautiful children.
And they'll all be having lots of fun downstairs. And now is the time that we take a moment to read our daily word. This is our oldest publication of Unity, and if you all read this past, I think it was Wednesday, it was the 90th birthday of the, and we have an affirmation. Today's word is success, and let's all say the affirmation together. Realizing God within me, I am successful. God in me is the wellspring of all power and zeal. God in me is the cradle of pure love and compassion. God in me is the source of true wisdom and understanding. In the midst of life's opportunities and challenges, God in me is the one true foundation for glory and success. As I consider the desires of my heart, my goals and my dreams, I invite and I allow the power and presence of God to move me, heart, mind, and soul, in the direction of my highest good. I radiate love, peace, and joy as I follow my heart. Attuned to the divine within, I face challenges and embrace opportunities with faith and optimism. I entrust the end results to the God in me. And from Colossians 3:4, when Christ, who is your life, is revealed, then you also will be revealed with him in glory. And let's all say that affirmation one more time. Realizing God within me, I am successful. And we are going to have our meditation song and our meditation, and then Miss Susan will be giving us our message today. And so if we can have the lights go down, and we will sing I Am Here.
To too, so we'll try it next time.
I invite each one of you to place your feet down on the floor and place your palms in your lap, hands up, open, ready, eager, enthusiastic to receive love. And please focus your attention on your heart center, in the center of your chest. And let us take a long, deep breath, breathing light into our heart centers. Let's do that together. Breathing light into our heart centers. Let's do that again. And once more, let us breathe the light of God into our heart centers. And now, yes, the presence of God as love and light is within us, shining, radiating throughout our bodies and radiating throughout us. And let us feel the joy of letting love light have its way with us. And let us breathe it in again. This is why you and I are here. To receive love, to acknowledge the divine love always flowing in, through, and around us, igniting us, and then to radiate that love through our hearts, our eyes, and our voices. In the silence, again, focus attention on your heart center and feel it radiating love light. Feel the hand of the presence holding your heart center, igniting it so that it expands, expands, and expands. Yes, you and I are the radiating heart of God, here to receive love, to give love, and to be loving peace. Amen. Let there be light. Open the gift. Radiate divine light, love, life, and laughter. Well, if you've been singing the songs, you already know all of the answers. So I might just sit down and be quiet, but I'm not going to. All right, where is the gift? You are the gift. Yes. And for most of us, that gift is centered within our hearts, isn't it? which you all have just opened up so beautifully and wide. You are the gift. So what is the gift? Yes, it's more than love. It is the whole. It's beingness. It is presence. It is divine light, love, life, and laughter. There isn't anybody who's infused with the divine who doesn't do a lot of laughing and a lot of smiling. And I've heard you all. I think you qualify very much, don't you? So yes, there's the gift over here. You perhaps have already noticed it. And have you all ever been to a gathering that was honoring somebody and the hosts had a beautifully wrapped gift? You can make it any size you want to in your imagination, but just a magnificent gift. And your eyes kept being drawn to it. When is she going to open the gift, for gosh sakes? Open the gift, open the gift. Well, I want you all to know that today, everyone here has at least one guardian angel here with you, and maybe other guides and light beings who are saying, for gosh sakes, when are you going to open the gift? Open the gift. And yes, sometimes we come over to the gift, and we come to Unity on Sunday, and we experience some of the gift, maybe a 10-5 or some such. And so our angels keep saying, open the gift, open the gift, open the gift. So my question to you all today is, will you open the gift? Will you? Come on, ladies. All right, will you open the gift today? Yes. You're wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. All right. Now, it's interesting. We know that we are human beings. We have a personality, etc. But is that all we are? No. All right, I'll ask again. Come on. No. Are we just a personality? No. No. Okay. So, there's a little quirky thing here. We have to kind of slip in to really open the gift. Because you and I live in an outer world, and we need clothes and food and houses and transportation and so on and so forth. So it's so easy for us to make all of our prayers about the stuff out here, isn't it? And guaranteed we all like healthy bodies. So, all right. So yes, all of those things are needed and necessary for us interacting in the physical world. And it has meant that we have all of those things in abundance. But what happens when that is our first priority? Dun, 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 dun. Suffering. Things get harder and harder and harder when that is our first priority. All right, so the sneaky thing is that to really open the gift, we have to make something that is unseen our priority. And Margaret's been talking a lot about our 5 senses, and our personalities have 5 senses, correct? And so people who never get beyond the 5 senses, are they able to open the gift? No, they can't open the gift. Okay, because that's kind of sneaky, isn't it? I don't know if we helped create that plan or not, but that's the plan. All right, so you and I must go within, and Jesus said very well, seek ye first the kingdom. Seek what's inside. Seek the divine presence, the beingness. And then what happens? All these other things flow to you. All right, so that is what we must do today to open the gift. And another hard question for you. True or false? Once you open the gift, that's it. You don't have to do anything else.
Big bulls.
Yeah, big balls. That's a lot of bull, isn't it? All right. Because we're wearing these adorable earth suits, and living in a physical world, we need to keep going back to the center, back to the center, back to the center, to the divine presence. You all had an experience with your spiritual heart during the meditation. That's where we go. Time and time and time again. And let's face it, sometimes We get too tired to do it, don't we? Okay. And then something always comes up, though, that makes us surrender and say, okay, I get it. Help. Here we have a rose. Well, I was going to pull it out and hold it. It would be very dramatic, but it doesn't always come out. So, this is a poem written by Steve Carroll, and the title of it is, It Felt Love. How did the rose ever open its heart and give the world all its beauty? How did the rose ever open its heart and give the world all of its beauty? It felt the encouragement of light. It felt the encouragement of light against its being. Otherwise, you and I are too frightened. So it is that light flowing in, through, and around us when we focus on it that gives you and me the courage to open our hearts, to be the beauty that we are. Every single one of you is here for a unique purpose. Every single one of you is special. And if you and I do not fulfill that unique purpose, our unique individuality, then there's something missing, isn't there? And I know you wouldn't be sitting here in this room today if you had not already made a commitment to be the gift that you have been created to express on earth. In the last week, I've been a bit overwhelmed, and you can probably tell it from my voice, I think I can say this. I've been particularly overwhelmed by the children and what is happening to many children in our world today. We've seen the pictures on TV of the children, because of the danger or poverty or whatever in their own countries in South America, have walked, hitchhiked, done whatever was possible. 1,000 miles, maybe 2,000 miles in some cases, maybe 3,000 miles. That's like going all the way across the United States, just to come to the United States of America. Many times they've been hungry, they've been abandoned, they were not wanted where they were, and they're not wanted here. And we look at them, and our heart cannot help but go out to them when we see the conditions in which they're in when the pictures are taken. So yes, there are hundreds of children, hundreds, literally, quotation marks, suffering there. And then let's look in the Middle East. The Gaza has a disproportionately young population. And already, last week, these were last week's figures, much more than 1,000, I think it was about 1,500 children had already been injured. And I think it was less than 100 had been killed. The children. And we'd see families having to leave their homes, and the children with their parents without a place, without a country, etc. All right, so I don't know about you, but my passion this morning is peace. Peace. I don't want you all to suffer because of the disagreements of other people, and I certainly don't want the innocent children to be in that position. And many of us, think of your children, your grandchildren, great-grandchildren. Many of them have gone through some very trying times, and it breaks your heart, doesn't it? So certainly, it's up to you and me today to open the gift Because when you and I pray from the place, from the consciousness of the open gift, is that a more powerful prayer than praying from our personalities? Certainly. All right. So if for no other reason, I know some of you think, oh God, I'm walking the spiritual path, blah, 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 etc., etc. Well, get over it. The world needs us today. It needs us right this very, very minute. So I invite each one, as we're sitting here, to focus on your open hearts. Feel the light of God streaming into it, energizing it, and flowing out in whatever way is good for you. Imagine the children of the world, or whatever children you care about. Imagine in the center, experiencing this. You and I, just in this time when I'm talking, believe it or not, can make a huge difference in the world. I care. Do you all care?
Yes.
So yes, the gift is undetectable by the five senses. Long ago, there was a man, a poor man. This was before times of cars and bicycles. And he was trudging down the road because he had heard there was work in another town. All of his possessions were on his back. And a wealthy man in the town that he was walking through caught his eye, and he looked at him and said, "Matthew, is that you?" He said, "Yeah, it is." "Well, I'm so glad to see you. And how are things going?" And Matthew, obviously, things weren't going very well at all. And so the friend said, "Well, you must come home with me tonight and eat at my table, and I'll give you a warm, nice place to sleep. And I know you have to leave the next morning because you are going to the next town, but please join me." So they had a wonderful time talking about old times. And the wealthy man had it in his head that the next morning he would gift his old friend Matthew, who was down and out, something that would make his life easier. But as it turned out, the wealthy man had an emergency and was called out in the middle of the night. He didn't want to wake up Matthew, to say goodbye, etc., etc. It was in the middle of the night. And so instead, he went in Matthew's room and picked up his cloak, which was pretty old and thin, but he opened the lining right up here, like where the neck is, and he sewed some small but very, very precious jewels in the lining of his jacket, knowing that Matthew would find them. And then he would cash it in, and he could turn his life around once and for all. It was a few months later when Matthew was trudging through the town once more. The job didn't last very long. And again, the friend recognized him and said, "Matthew, why are you still dressed as you are? What's going on? Come into my home and tell me about it." The traveler did not know the magnificent gift that his friend had given him. Do we relate? Yes. How many of us do not know, or pretend we don't know, the magnificent gift that has been given to us? Because that gift is not detectable with the five senses. That gift is detectable to those of you who are willing to go within, to open up, to believe in the unseen things, even like angels. Masters. Jesus said, "Lo, I am with you always." But he sure didn't mean his physical body was going to be here always. No, the unseen aspect of Jesus as the Christ, that is what is with us always. We must move beyond our five senses so that we know. So the gift is undetectable by the five senses. Each one of us needs to know that it is mine. It's mine. But does that make me any different from you? No, because everybody else can say, "Yes, I have that special gift, and it is mine," because each of us is a unique creation. We must value it and make that gift our very best friend. We need to surrender to it and ask it to take over. In other words, we must be willing to use it. Have you ever thought about the 12 apostles and this man, Jesus, who was obviously a spiritual man and could do things that the disciples couldn't do? And Jesus' purpose was to awaken the disciples so that they could do all of the things that he did. And I don't know about your life, but I have some pretty tough challenges from time to time. I know you do too. And one day, Jesus took the disciples out fishing in the Sea of Galilee. And Jesus said, I think I'll just snooze over here in the back of the boat. So he was asleep. And what happened? A terrific storm came up. Just in the twinkling of an eye. There were waves breaking over the boat. And the disciples were holding on to each other so nobody would fall out. And of course they said, they knew Jesus was special by then. They said, for gosh sakes, let's wake up Jesus. Or maybe they said, Jesus. But anyway, Jesus awakened. And he said, okay, what's going on? And they said, what's going on? Look at this storm. We're all going to be killed any minute. And so Jesus stood up and said, peace, be still. And what happened? It stopped. All right. What do you think the disciples said after that, the ones who were fishermen? They probably said, okay, anytime we go out, we're taking him with us. Because he can save us. But is that what Jesus came to say? No. Not Jesus, the physical man, can save us. And Jesus said, or it's been pointed out, that if Jesus had not left his body once and for all, that the disciples never would have reached within and depended on their own gifts. So, the next time you have a major storm in your life, who knows, maybe you'll be blessed today with a major storm in your life. Please know that it is simply an opportunity to awaken to the gift. Are you going to consider that? Now, you can let out a few choice words and sound speak and cry and everything, but are you willing to awaken to the fact that, okay, thank you. What is the gift that this storm brings me? And the gift in the storm when the fishermen were on the boat was to ask a power greater than you to come forth. But you and I don't have that power in the outer. It's time for us. You think that 2,000 years later, more than 2,000 years later, we would have gotten it, that the gift is not flesh and blood. It's something in the unseen world that is ever so much more powerful than anything in the physical world. So, it's one thing to have a gift, and it's quite another to be the gift. Don't forget to answer. Are you all ready to be the gift?
Yes.
Good answer. Very good. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. I did it twice. It turns out to be right. All right. So it's one thing to have the gift. It's one thing to be the gift. I love this story, and I'm sure you've heard it before. But there was a huge storm at the beach. P.S. Don't you love it that Jesus lived at the beach like we? In the Sea of Galilee? So I was remembering that yesterday afternoon when I was strolling along the beach. I was thinking, Jesus did this too. And of course I invited him to join me. And when Jesus joined me, he was wearing the new shorts and having a good time. Okay. Yes, I'm a little crazy. And if you're not willing to be a little crazy, sweetheart, you're not going to make it. So there was a huge storm. And after the storm, there was a woman down on the beach. And there were hundreds of starfish that when the big waves came in, went out so fast that they were left stranded on the beach. And so this woman bent over and she was picking up the starfish and flinging them back into the ocean. This way and that way. I can see her doing it with great abandon, almost ecstasy, enthusiasm. You know, one here and one there, etc., etc. And there was a human being, man, it didn't have to be a man, who came up to her and said, "Lady, what are you doing?" And she said, "I'm throwing these starfish back into the ocean so I can save their lives and they'll live." And he looked at her. "Don't you realize that it is impossible for you to throw all these hundreds of starfish in the water and really make a difference?" And she said, "Well, that might be true, but it sure makes a difference in the ones I throw back in the water." That's you and me. And every single one of us have at least one person in our life that says, "What on earth are you thinking? What are you doing?" I want the right answer now. Is that going to stop you? No. No. You just, I find it better just to kind of ignore the statement and just keep on throwing the starfish back into the ocean. Or you can smile at it and send in love. But why deal with it in the outer world? We know where the real stuff is, don't we? This is what we want to interact with. At least more often than the outer stuff. In the book group, we're reading Seed of the Soul, and Gary Zukav made this wonderful statement. Every decision you make either moves you toward your personality or your soul. Each decision that you make is an answer to the question, how do you choose to learn love? There's a story about the Buddha in the life before he became the Buddha. And he was walking in the mountains of Nepal and came across a tiger that didn't look anything like this. The tiger he came across was emaciated, thin. She was fur and bones. And he interacted with the tiger and he said, "What's wrong?" And she said, "I'm in despair." She said, "I have young cubs and they're all going to die because I can't find any food to eat myself so that my body makes milk to feed them." And the tiger was in despair. And the Buddha looked at her and said, "Well, you can eat me." Compassion, love, going beyond the physical world. No, I'm not suggesting that you all do that today. Not at all. But it's a wonderful lesson of compassion and having the priorities straight, knowing that love is more important than anything. Peace on earth must begin with you and me today, in this very moment. And Deepak Chopra points out, but he didn't need to, all great change is preceded by chaos. Is there a bit of chaos in the world now? Oh yeah. And those of us who have chaos in our personal lives now are blessed. It is a blessing, right? Yes, it's a blessing. Because each of us is going to say, okay, what gift does this chaos hold in its hand for me? Amen. The first step to getting anywhere is deciding you're no longer willing to stay where you are. And this is a tough decision, isn't it? But all of you have made this decision. You would be sitting here today if you had already made that decision for change. And hopefully today our motivation is even stronger, looking at what is happening with too many children in our world. And if for no other reason, you and I want to open up to the divine light, love, life, and laughter that we are, so that we can pray and affirm from that place that changes will happen, that change the world. And it can happen in the twinkling of an eye. What do you guess those, are those geese? Well, whatever they are. What do you guess the ones not jumping in are saying? Crazy, fool. Probably a few expletives in front of the word fool. So, peace. This is a picture of a Christed being. And the human being personality part is probably a tiny dot in the middle where the two bands of light cross. This is what you and I have to experience, to open up to. This is the place from which you and I can live our everyday lives. We only need to say yes to it. When you and I fully open and accept the gift of divine light, love, light, and laughter, there is peace in our world. And when you and I do that as individuals, there is peace in our world, no matter what is going on in the outside world. This afternoon, the goal is to give you the experience of feeling that presence, of feeling the gift pulsing within you. And to have the joy of feeling that gift, the divineness that you are, radiating to help the people in the room who are attending, and certainly beyond that, if you choose. You and I, it's time to say yes. And what I've come to know from participating in this activity time and time again lately, yeah, it takes a lot more than one time, I have come to feel deep in my heart that when you and I have a major issue that we're dealing with, whatever it is, abundance, relationship, that when you and I are able to feel that radiance as us flowing through the center of us, when you and I address that issue from that place, miracles happen. And yes, we're asked, okay, do you really mean it? Are you serious? So it's not a one-time deal. So don't think, well, it didn't work, I'll give up on that. No, 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 no. It's like that woman throwing the starfish back in the sea. You do what you can. You keep connecting with that presence until you're there. Until you're there. The children deserve our gift of peace. So open the divine gift. Surrender to it. Let it be as you in these personality bodies. Be happy. Radiate divine light, love, life, and laughter. And now we can make our peace sign. Pray for peace. Amen.
Thank you, Miss Susan. If we all remember these 4 simple words, radiate light, love, life, and laughter, we will remember the divine truth of who we are every day. And thank you for bringing that to our attention and reminding us. And now is the time that we are grateful to be blessed with this community, and our gifts and our donations and time will continue to bring the programs, keep the lights on, pay our bills, all that good stuff that goes along with creating the church that we have here and the community that we have here. And we we have our blessing, and if our ushers can come forth, we will say our beautiful offertory blessing that has hand movements. And let's all say this together with the zeal and the passion that we are the light. I am light, flowing through me, blessing these gifts to radiate peace. And we have a few more announcements. So next Sunday, Reverend Margaret, Revival and Thrival. That's next Sunday, August 10th. Open the gift. Enjoy the light shop today. For those of us who don't have to work, come and 1:30 to 4, so right after our potluck, come back upstairs and open the gift, and Susan will show you how to do that. Oneness blessing right after service in the Peace Chapel. And we have our prayer for protection. And Y'all want to come in circle? And then we'll sing our, oh, well, you're going to do the peace song. Okay, for our prayer for protection, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us.